They want a conversation, guys. You're giving them a pitch. That's a huge mistake. Tonight, I want to go over this real quick with you. And the reason why you need to stop it, because so many people make this mistake. So many people move into that pitch mode, presentation mode, even before they get started. Many people make this mistake when they start talking to people and people say, "Oh, what do you do?" And the next thing you know, you go into pitch mode and they suddenly go, "Whoa, what happens when you do that?" Number one, it shows that you're me focused. You're all about me. The second thing happens is you're agenda focused. This is the reason why the people back off, because why? They know that you're after something. That's what an agenda does. It makes people say, "I'm after something. I want something." And the third thing that happens, it reduces you and makes you less credible, less authoritative, and less belief when you go into pitch mode. You can't do that when you're doing that. They reveal way too much, way too early. Did you get that? People like you and me, we can't do that. Not in this world that we're building, not in this world of the land of extraordinary. We can't go in and reveal too much because it's kind of like Hansel and Gretel. Hansel and Gretel, they left breadcrumbs. Sometimes you just have to give them a little crumb, another crumb, another crumb. Why? Because you're leading them to a place that leads to business. And when you reveal things too early, pretty soon, if that happens, then it's too late to really do business with them. What happens is you become like a dump truck. I've done seminars, so many, I've lost count, but I would talk about the dump truck effect. Even online, even on a Zoom. I was on a Zoom the other night, and I was going to do a Q&A afterwards, and I was, the guest Q&A-er, I guess, or whatever. And the guy just dump, all about the company, all about everything else. And folks, let me tell you something. It turned people off, and I noticed people were leaving. You can't do that. And the reason why is because you can't become a dump truck. You have to become a Ferrari. And this is where that you're going places. This is where that you know what's best for them. And you cannot do a presentation nonstop at the beginning. Details equals no destiny. It's just simply dumping upon the prospect at the very beginning. I used to do this. I know. I used to do it because I was taught that way. But then one day I figured something out. This isn't working. And you and me, we have to make it work. It has to do something so we can keep our bills paid, so that we can move on into something else. And this is the biggest reason why I want to ask you a question. Are you pitching people at the very beginning, even during a conversation, even during a dinner, or what? What is that doing to the prospect? That's the thing that I think about more than anything else, because it's all about the prospect. What is that doing to the prospect when you start going to dump truck mode? I'll tell you what it's doing to the prospect. It's turning them off. What they're there for, and when you are holding a conversation with people, you need to find out more about them than what they can find out about you or your product. Why? Because once they connect emotionally, subconsciously, and from the heart, their listening shifts, changes. It's no longer, "I wonder what they want," to "how can this help me?" Did you get that? It changes from "I wonder what they want" to how can this help me? Because you've taken the time to be able to get into that place where you start connecting, relating, and finding a place where they feel good about the conversation. And if you knew what it was doing to the prospect, where you're going more and more details, they're backing off. You may not see it physically, but it's happening on the inside. And in our world, we can't let that happen, folks. We can't, because, again, we're on a journey here, and we're on a journey to get you to a 7-figure business, a 7-figure life, even a 7-figure income. And the only way that's going to happen is to quit dumping. You cannot dump. Simply hold a normal conversation. Now, some people say, "What's a normal conversation?" Well, it's different for everybody. What's normal for you? I'll tell you what's normal for me: talking about anything that the prospect wants to talk about, or if I'm talking in a group of people, I listen, and I listen, and I listen. And then from there, I have a better idea of what I want to say versus try to dominate the conversation. Make the prospect, number one, feel comfortable. This is communication 101. But what happens is we get so excited, "Oh, I got a prospect in front of me," that we go into pitch mode and they no longer are comfortable. And the reason for that is because now that agenda broadcasting from you, from your presence, I have an agenda, they feel it. Number two, get them at ease. If you get your prospect at ease and they feel like this is enjoying the conversation, which is number three, enjoying connecting with you, it's going to go well for you. But the most important thing you got to do, and everybody talks about this, you know that, I know that. And to be honest, in our world, it's a must. You got to get them curious. You got to get them to that place where you've told them enough, but they have to know more. And this is where a pitch cannot happen, because when you pitch, you've already told them everything. And I want you to get this. Listen. When you've told them so much, they assume they already know enough to make a decision. Did you get that? When they assume that they have enough information to make a decision, then they shut down. You have to learn that, because, again, in our world, you can't do that. That's not an option. Do not come across like some cheesy salesperson. And some people might get offended by that. I don't care. You cannot come across like a cheesy salesperson. Come across like a new friend. Come across something that the information is here. And the only thing you want to talk about, though, is them. We used to, back in the dinosaur days in the 90s, when I was in direct sales, we used to run ads and we would talk with people. And I would have this presentation book, a little about 14, 15 pages. It was a 3-ring binder. And I would have it sitting on the table. And every time they came in, sit down, I would put it on the chair. Generally, it was in a restaurant. And I would say, let's forget business for a bit. I want to learn about you. And we would talk about them for 5, 10, 15 minutes. And by the time that I got to the presentation, as far as just giving them a little bit of information about what we're doing, I didn't care what it was, because I had connected with them in a very sincere way. And when you do something like that, we can talk about business in a minute. Tell me about you. That is going to draw them in like you wouldn't believe. And communication, again, is all about what they're feeling first, because then it's going to determine how they listen. The more you show interest in them, the more that you focus on them, the more you pay attention to them, the more that you ask about them, the closer emotionally they're going to come towards you. You can't see it physically. Sometimes you can when they lean in, or when they get closer, or when they go, wow. But it's an invisible thing that you can sense and feel in your heart. You know that, click, I got you. And then that communication no longer becomes a conversation. It literally becomes two friends talking together about their future or about a product that can change their life. People want a conversation, folks. I mean, how simple is that? They want a conversation. Don't pitch. Don't present at the very beginning. Seriously, hold a conversation. And we always have what we call the 5, 10, 20 rule. What is that? We would say, talk 5 minutes about the prospect, talk 10 minutes about what they're looking to do and what they'd like to see, and a little bit more about what their dreams are as far as what they really, really, really like to see in their life. And then maybe 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes on just proposing and suggesting things that might help them get there. I never sold a product. I gave them solutions, or I gave them ideas that would move their life forward. And again, I have always said this, and it's gotten, other people have said it too, but people don't buy products. They buy transformations. And this is why that you can't give a person a chance to transform when you're pitching them right out of the gate. They won't transform. They'll transition out of the conversation. Guys, share, save this page, because we're doing something really unique here, something really crazy. And we're going to take almost 40 years worth of experience, and every single video is going to have information you've never heard before. I promise you. Bring people, tell them about this, send it to them, why it's going to change their life. Because I have coached so many people that have become 7, 8 figure net worth. And it's him, it's not me. Don't get me wrong. It can happen to you too. That's the journey we're on. That's where you and I, as people like us, we want to move into that place. Like, share, follow, save this video, spread the fire.